Good evening, everyone. Happy President's Day. And my name is Teresa Platt, and my home overlooks Fallbrook Golf Course's 3rd tee. I share the concerns of my Gerd Valley neighbors about the possible sale of any portion of the course to a developer seeking to fill the fairways with houses, or to a mitigation land banker closing the area to public access. In the 1960s, San Diego County granted special use permits for this agriculturally zoned farmland, 9 parcels in all, converting it to a public golf course with recreational open space. By 1998, visitors and locals alike enjoyed 65,000 rounds of golf a year, and we continue to love the course. So the community holds the ultimate power over land use, so any attempt to modify the special use permits on this 54-year-old course must earn our approval via coordination with our elected representatives on the Fallbrook Community Planning Group. North San Diego County's growth is sparking mitigation land prices to almost $400,000 per acre. Speculators are eyeing and buying undeveloped and developed recreational land, golf courses, wineries, and productive farmland in pursuit of this mitigation land's gold rush. But Gerd Valley residents are not willing to live for even 6 months with the disgraceful conditions seen at San Luis Rey Downs. Never mind the decade required to navigate a paperwork maze at multiple federal agencies, the local land permit process, and the final transformation of the course into mitigation land, and often dry marshland, surrounded by a fence to keep the public out. San Luis Rey Downs is now a weed patch and a garbage dump. This is what mobilizes. It's defaced by graffiti, bedeviled by vandalism. Lack of water has taken a toll on the wildlife. Only a program designed in Washington, D.C. to create wetlands could result in killing a golf course along with all its frogs. So the San Luis Rey Downs project managers should be held accountable for this debacle, not rewarded with another property to destroy. So we are working with our representatives in D.C. to shine the spotlight on the Clean Water Act and to restrict mitigation land banking to undeveloped land only. The solution to Fallbrook Golf Course's current woes is simple: a new and engaged owner operating under the special use permit granted back in the 1960s. Change is good, but so is tradition. So let's work together to avoid a future where we stand up and sadly say, "Welcome to Fallbrook, the friendly village. Sorry, we used to have a public golf course. We had one, a good one, but we destroyed it. We once enjoyed blissful days chasing a little white ball around the cool green grass, and we relaxed under magnificent oaks and towering sycamores, but no more. We paved paradise and put in another housing development." So millions of dollars in a decade were squandered converting a small slice of the course to a sometimes marshy spot along the back creek. You can see where the Fallbrook Golf Course once was. Take a peek through the chain link fence behind the parking lot on the hill. So I hope I never have to stand up 15 years from now and say that. Thank you all, and let's save Fallbrook Golf Course in beautiful Gerd Valley.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. My name is Dolly, Harty, and my husband Larry and I moved to the Gerd Valley 15 years ago. We were lured here by that beautiful, peaceful drive that you get when you drive down Gerd Avenue, Gerd Road, and the golf course, of course. But we were shocked at the current state of this golf course. And due to those concerns, we got about 10 of our neighbors together and had a little meeting, and this was just last Thursday, January 21st, and that's how we've got the SaveFallbrookGolfCourse.com group together. It's been very quick and very efficient, as you can see. I joined the Fallbrook1 Golfers 18-hole club the same year that I moved here, and I've been a member of that group and an active there and have enjoyed playing at Fallbrook Golf Course, and our women have been there for 54 years. But now we are being forced to leave the golf course that we love so much because to be able to participate in outside of golfing events that we're used to doing for the last 6 years, we have to belong to a regulation 18-hole course. So knowing that the course was going to close, it was ascending and it was raining, I decided to go over number 14 and take my camera and take some pictures so I could remember the back night, because that was always my favorite. So while I'm walking in the rain with my camera, I remembered a story that I heard when the previous owner was there. And he was a friend with Jack Nicklaus, which I think most of you know is a golf pro and golf course designer. And he took Jack around our course. And he was then, he looked at Jack and he said, "Jack, what would you do to improve this course?" And Jack said, "Nothing. They don't make golf courses like this anymore." So Jack Nicklaus is right. Fallbrook Golf Course is a Southern California gem. It's a Fallbrook icon. And we feel blessed with wonderful weather that we have here that gives us treasures like Live Oak Park, the small dog park that's just recently opened, and Myrtle Creek Botanical Garden, which keeps expanding, but they always keep the historical value of this valley in mind. So even after 15 years of living here, that serene drive down the tree-lined dirt road always makes my heart skip a beat. So please, I urge you to oppose any land use change for this property that comes before you. I also ask any potential buyer to recognize that Fallbrook will wholeheartedly support new management committed to improving the Fallbrook Golf Course for the benefit of the community, enhancing and preserving the beautiful Grove Valley forever. But we are all united in our opposition to land use changes that do not benefit Fallbrook and the Grove Valley. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sue Thorne, and I've lived in Fallbrook since 1985. My home overlooks the Fallbrook Golf Course, and I've watched in frustration as the current owner abuses this course. It's vitally important for Fallbrook golfers, Grove Valley homeowners, and the Fallbrook community itself that the course be saved in its entirety as an 18-hole course. Do not let's allow this current owner, who's done far too much damage to the course and the club facilities already, to sell it off piecemeal, which he intends to do, he says. His suggestion is that golfers and the general public don't really appreciate all the hard work he's put in to improving the course. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Unfortunately, any improvements claimed to have been made are now so far outweighed by his deliberate downgrading of services at the clubhouse and the lack of course management know-how. Now, golfers do support the course, it's evident, even with this threat of closure hanging over their heads. The men's and the ladies' groups have voted to remain loyal to Fallbrook Golf Course as long as they possibly can. However, if it were to be reduced to a 9-hole course, which Jack Lamberson wants, they would have to go somewhere else. And the question is, where else in North County do we go now when they're closing so many courses? Can you find a course, an 18-hole public course that welcomes the public and is walkable and affordable? That's what's special about Fallbrook. It's a well-established 18-hole public course in a natural valley setting, and it isn't an architecturally designed country club that mandates the use of carts to get people through gated communities from one tee to the next one, from the green to the next tee. My husband and I fell in love with the course and the friendly village of Fallbrook back in the 60s. We were living in Los Angeles, and it reminded us of the layout of many a British country course. That's why we chose to build our house on the last remaining lot overlooking the second green. Fallbrook Golf Course is also a very special green attraction on that Fallbrook map. It fits right in with the Fallbrook friendly village. It's the perfect match for families, retirees alike. Juniors can enjoy clinics on the driving range, and the high school students use the course for practice and their matches, and retirees enjoy midweek play, no stress, affordable rates. It may not look at its best right now, and that's thanks to drought conditions plus the mismanagement of the current owner, but this course is a survivor. It's 54 years strong, and with a firm community commitment to its future and a new engaged owner, Fallbrook Golf Course will see its 55th birthday, and we hope many more. So let's do everything in our power to free Fallbrook Golf Course from its current owner and save it from anyone else who wants to destroy it via a land use change. let's find that new engaged owner, somebody experienced, Fallbrook friendly, and understands golf. We'll all support that owner fully. Thank you.
My name is Bob Lindner, and I'm a concerned homeowner who's lived in the Fallbrook area for 45 years. I live above the 14th green on the back nine of the Fallbrook Golf Course, and I'm proud to speak tonight on behalf of all my neighbors. I'm concerned that the ultimate demise of the Fallbrook Golf Course could adversely affect home values and negatively impact the quality of life in Fallbrook. Many of us have lived here most of our adult lives. We've raised our children here. We've truly come to appreciate the unique rural experience of the Fallbrook area, in the Gerd Valley especially. A drastic change in the noble character of Gerd Valley through the destruction of the Fallbrook Golf Course, or a portion of it, would be detrimental to all who live in the valley, as well as to the entire Fallbrook community. I applaud the Fallbrook Planning Group and the County of San Diego for its foresight in adopting the Fallbrook Community Plan as part of the San Diego General Plan, which underwent 9 public hearings. The County Board of Supervisors approved updates as recently as this past November. The plan is worthy of reviewing and is posted on our website, SaveFallbrookGolfCourse.com. In its section of conservation and open space, the Fallbrook Community Plan declares recreational facilities are vital to personal development. The plan, your plan, our plan, declares its support for a well-balanced system of recreational facilities, public and private, that serve Fallbrook community and meets the need of all ages through active and passive recreational opportunities. The plan, our plan, your plan, encourages private development of local golf courses. With that logic in mind, it would seem only right to support, not destroy, the golf courses already in existence. The natural beauty of this community, once allowed to be abused, will be very difficult to restore. I, in unison with my neighbors, intend to oppose, with the full force of all available resources at our disposal, any negative land use changes to our special community. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ed Ersen, and I speak as a concerned citizen and the past president of the Fallbrook Seniors Golf Group, who has been playing at the Fallbrook Golf Course since 1988. And this, I must say, is not only, I fully agree with Susie that this is one great layout and totally mismanaged. Fallbrook Golf Course has been a gem in our own backyard for many, many years. But I emphasize has been, the past tense, because the current owner has definitely run this thing into the ground. Now, there's no secret that golf courses are not having any problem, or that they're having problems with playership and financial troubles. With a downturn in the economy, and with a slow recovery, with unemployment rising, there have been fewer rounds of golf being played. However, I don't think we have that much of a problem in our particular area. But with the cost of water and the increased maintenance and lack of maintenance, we have a big problem at Fallbrook. Course ownership turnover recently in this area have been 4 or 5 courses that have turned over, and many of the courses have been purchased by multi-course operators in order to reduce their costs. I don't know the golf business, but I'm a retired businessman, and I do know something about profit centers. From my perspective, a golf course has at least 3 profit centers, the course itself in green fees, the restaurant, and a bar. I can remember when the bar and restaurant was a really going place, and was no place more fun to have a beer and a burger than Fallbrook Golf Course. The place is absolutely a morgue right now. You cannot run an 18-hole golf course on 9 employees. There were 44 employees when this current owner took over. We're down to 9. I don't know how he's even holding on there. He claims that he's put $1.6 million into the property. Nobody seems to know where it is. We can't see it. And all I can see is there is a lot of deferred maintenance obsolescence. The property owners are suffering or will suffer tremendously. And I don't believe that mitigation is the answer. It seems to me, in my perspective, I don't know the owner, but with all the talk that's been going on regarding the mitigation over in San Luis Rey, I have to think that maybe there's a greed factor figured in here. We're losing money, we'll make our money, sell it for mitigation, and get out of town. I urge the Planning Commission to oppose any land use changes. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Larry Mitzner. I live on Northcliff Drive, which is on the 3rd green at Fallbrook Golf Course. I'm also a member of the Fallbrook Senior Golf Course and part of the men's club at Fallbrook Golf Course. Until recently, we have played at the Fallbrook Golf Course 2 to 3 times a week. And my wife is also a member of the Fallbrook 9-holers, and they play there every Thursday. I've been coming to Fallbrook area since 1972 to play golf here. We come down on weekends and during the week to play golf at Fallbrook, San Luis Rey, and also Palamesa Golf Course. In 1992, we moved here to enjoy the beautiful area of Fallbrook, and we love it very immensely. After 33 years with the Los Angeles County Fire Department, I retired and we have moved to a house on the Fallbrook Golf Course, like I mentioned earlier. Golf is my #1 passion. I love golf. Fallbrook Golf Course provides a great defensible space during fire season. It has open land and very green pastures to prevent any fire to come through. But with the potential of the sale of the golf course to mitigation land bank, our greatest fear is that Fallbrook Golf Course will turn into a wheat field, and which will leave all the houses in the area in very great fire danger. If Fallbrook Golf Course becomes another San Luis Rey, our homes will be in great jeopardy when the next firestorm comes to Fallbrook. This is not if, but when the next fire comes to this area. Keeping an irrigated and manicured space, the golf course will help reduce potential loss of homes when the next fire comes. I strongly urge the planning group to consider what beautiful Gert Valley will look like if it's allowed to become San Luis Rey. San Luis Rey Downs in a disaster. Fallbrook needs a golf course and parks for the community to enjoy forever. After all, the recreational land, golf courses included, are considered a vital part of our very own Fallbrook Community Planning Group and the community of the planning group as incorporated in the San Diego County General Plan. And if something would happen to the course, which we don't want ever to happen, it would be a great disaster to the community. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Judy Hughes. I've worked in Fallbrook Bonsall area since 2008, and I lived in Temecula from 2001 till recently. 3 months ago, we moved to Fallbrook. Yes, we chose Fallbrook as our home, and particularly Gert Valley because it's local charm, sense of community, beautiful scenery in the country, in the city. We moved to this home on the 3rd green, only 3 months ago, overlooking the golf course. Beautiful views, hoping to enjoy the amenities of the golf, local restaurants, and drinks afterwards. Then only 2 weeks ago, we became aware of the golf course is in jeopardy. Plus, overall reports of neglect over the last few years, reduction of staff, The restaurant shrunk, losing all the talented staff. Despair of the golf greens. We even played a golf course and it was just nothing but straw. I believe that the Fallbrook Golf Course can once again be a thriving business in Gerd Valley. Perfect example, we went to Myrtle Creek the other day. They restored the plantation house. How beautiful is that? Just walking around the land, enjoying the scenery. The staff was extremely friendly and welcoming. That's what it means to be here in Fallbrook, not what we have at Fallbrook Golf Course right now. There's many businesses that have held on for tradition, like Grand Tradition, Scrappy's Tires, and Joe's Hardware, always ready to help you. We're not getting that right now at Fallbrook Golf Course. I'd like to read you an advertisement I saw recently posted. Since 1962, Fallbrook Golf Course has been a family-friendly green destination for North San Diego County golfers and beyond, with strategically placed native live oak, sycamore, and eucalyptus trees, providing arresting foliage against a backdrop of rush rolling green on regulation length course. Pristinely manicured with sand and water features on many holes. It's an impeccable place to spend an afternoon or early evening. This is still on the website. The current owner, Jack Lamberson, is anxious to sell off the business, as his recent letters to the neighborhood have clearly stated. Unfortunately, he first intends to divide the course in half. Selling the back 9 holes to a mitigation bank, which would make it impossible for the 18-hole Fallbrook Golf Course to ever regain its former glory. I find that very sad. I ask that the current designation of this property, allowing it to be operated as an 18-hole regulation length golf course, be kept firmly in place. This would require that the back half of the course, which is currently in the process of an attempted mitigation bank sale, be allowed to remain intact.
Hi, my name is Brad Jordan. I've lived here since 2002. My wife and I lived in San Marcos before that. What brought us to Fallbrook was the Fallbrook Golf Course. When we first drove down Gerd Road and we saw how beautiful that course is, it took us back to playing like back east or the Midwest or something where it's just an absolute treasure to go to. So we would come up here frequently, and when we get tired of suburbia, we said, let's move to Fallbrook because it's just a beautiful, bucolic place to be. It's just a friendly place to be. So I'll echo what everybody else said, but I'd like to give another tact, another thing to think about. When I was a child, grew up in Pasadena, my mom used to drop me off at the Santa Anita golf course during the summer every day. She could give me $5, I could play golf, because it was the county course, and I could have a little lunch, and I would spend the whole day there, and she didn't have to worry about where I was going to be. And so that gave me an opportunity to meet all sorts of people, learn this great game of golf, and which has really been a central theme through my entire life. Now I ask you, for the young children and the young people in Fallbrook, if we lose the Fallbrook Golf Course, where are they going to go? You can't go to Palo Mesa for a kid. It's too expensive for children to be able to do that. So what are those kids going to do with themselves? For me, it kept me out of trouble. It led me to a pastime that I've enjoyed my entire life. In fact, a lot of people in this room here I've met at the Fallbrook Golf Course. And the final thing I want to talk about is the restaurant. My house overlooks the Fallbrook Golf Course on Old Post Road. I used to go down the golf course all the time to be able to have lunch there with my dog and my wife and see my friends down there and have a beer or whatever. And then at night I'd walk along my road, which overlooks the golf course and the fire pit area and the restaurant, and it was a thriving business with all sorts of people out there having a great time. It was the place to go in Fallbrook. And then when Jack took over, he killed the entire business. And now it's dark. And I mean that as a metaphor. Before there was light, now there's dark. If you don't stop this from happening, if you kill this golf course, you kill part of the soul of Fallbrook.
My name is Bill Geffeney. I live at 3598 Oak Cliff Drive. I'm a new resident of Fallbrook. I bought my house in December of 2013. It has a fabulous cocktail view of the remains of the 6th hole. Professionally, I'm an enrolled agent and a licensed real estate broker. Personally, I cannot fault the owner for trying to maximize his investment in the golf course. He alleges that he's made a substantial investment in the property. Unfortunately, he's just not been very successful financially, and he wants out. I don't blame him for that. My beef is not with the seller. I heartily support property rights. I think we all do. We should not dictate what someone can or cannot do with their property, as long as their actions, or lack thereof, do not threaten the property rights or lives of others. Let them use the property as they see fit, as long as it conforms to accepted local land use regulations and zoning restrictions. My beef is with a system of federal property incentives so perverse that an owner can run his property straight into the ground through mismanagement, incompetence, or indifference, and can still look forward to being approached by a mitigation land broker, offering him a financial incentive that exceeds the fair market value of the property per its current highest and best use. The reality of mitigation is that the federal government inspires with its lavish payments for mitigation credits a scheme that encourages owners of recreational land to abuse and degrade their properties by doing nothing to care for them. And when the time is right, allows through mitigation a de facto conversion of the property to another use. In a sense, this policy encourages the recipient not to compete in the marketplace. Quite the opposite. It encourages the landowner to game the system. Is this the intent of this unlegislated land use scheme? If so, isn't it time we demand changes in its administration from federal authorities? Likewise, local authorities must be aware of the potential abuses inherent in this system. You, the Fallbrook Community Planning Group, are elected to represent us in making decisions regarding the preservation and development of local lands. You're charged with coordinating with federal agencies, making sure that local land use plans are not ignored. One of the obvious shortcomings of the mitigation process is that it does not discriminate between lands that are being utilized, developed recreational land, for instance, and those that are not developed. Appropriate vacant lands could easily be substituted for land that has a current and accepted community use. In this case, the Fallbrook Golf Course has long been utilized for recreational purposes. It also extends a historical and emotional tie to the beautiful Gerd Valley and its inhabitants. Should a permit for a land use change on this property be brought before you, I urge you to preserve this treasure for all of us. Thank you very much.